evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I apologize for being so late for this video. First, Camtasia was really messing up. I was having a lot of audio problems. And then secondly, I had to go work out because I had to get those gains. You need to get those gains in order to survive in this day in life. But today, I'm going to be playing the first meta. That's right. And the reason why I call it the first meta is because if I remember correctly, this was the first archetype deck that ran a format. And if you guys don't know what archetype is, then I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh meta you're playing in ever. And even though it wasn't necessarily a quote-unquote archetype at the time, Perfect Circle Monarchs was a deck that was to be feared. It was to be revealed. It was one of the best decks of all time. Yet again, like I said, I'm going to be summoning Idea the Heaven Knight, and this deck is going to be playing a whole new concept. It's not even really playing any of the old Monarchs. Idea is going to be summoning, however you say his name. I don't even really know how to say his name. But most importantly, my Dominion's going to be negated by one of his Raid Raptors cards. What it allows me to do is gain an extra normal summon if I'm tributing something. And with that, we're going to summon Erebus, the best Monarch of all time. Now, what Erebus does is allows us to send 2 Monarch spells and trap cards on our side of the field or from our deck or hand to the graveyard, to shuffle 1 card on our opponent's field or hand to the deck. Now, people were thinking like, oh my god, Cali Effect, that is a really good Monarch. And if you really do think about all of the older Monarchs, they have to use their effects, they're mandatory, and also, there's normally some drawback for them being the only monster summoned. For example, if Caius the Shadow Monarch is my only monster when it's tribute summoned, he's gonna have to banish himself. With Erebus, there's always a target, and it's optional to use his effect. Like, oh my god, that's the first thing that Monarchs fix. But Erebus is a really good Monarch, not only because it can be used on first turn to disrupt the opponent's hand or field, it also has a very nifty effect of sending, you know, your spells to the graveyard that need to be the graveyard, and on top of that, he can recycle any Monarch from your graveyard, including himself, to your hand. He's a really good card. I loathe over his just amazing ability. He's just, oh my god. We're playing against Raid Raptors, the New Age Chicken Wings, and this guy goes ahead and pays half his life points to summon Cyber Dragon Infinity off of 1 card. And I'm like, well, that's nice. Maybe, wish I had something for that. I'm just gonna take my monster and do things with me. That's really nice to, you know, have a 1-card Cyber Dragon Infinity. No, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna take the damage. Not much else I can do about it. But 1-card Cyber Dragon Infinity does put me back quite a bit, mainly because he does have a 2700 attack monster that's going to be pretty hard to deal with. I have to find a way to get around the negation effect. So we're going to go ahead and activate Eidos, whatever. And he's going to special summon Idea the Heaven Knight. The best thing about the Heaven Knight in Eidos, the Dark Knight or whatever he wants to be, is that even after you use Heaven to special summon Eidos and then tribute summon, Eidos special summons Heaven again, and then he can special summon Eidos, which then gets you more tribute fodder. So basically, it provides you tribute fodder for days. He's going to negate the effect of my Heaven Knight, but when Heaven Knight sends to the graveyard, I get to add a banished, you know, Monarch card, you know, to my hand. So that's even more advantage. And not only we're going to follow up with a Monarch Stormforce, Vanity's Fiend is going to hit the field. And what I've noticed against almost any good deck of this format, if you summon Vanity's Fiend, you're probably going to win that game. Just because your opponent can't special summon. It's really hard to play around. And he's a really good card, so there's not really much else to say. So now we're going to look through our graveyard, just graveyard surfing. Activate Pandeity to Monarch, probably the hands down the best Monarch, or probably the second best Monarch spell card. Basically what it does is that it's a draw card first, but then second I can banish it to search, and then Tenacity to Monarch is another search card on top of that, almost guaranteeing me that I can play one of any Monarch card and still be able to search it to my hand. Now we're going to activate March of the Monarchs, which kind of wraps up the game. My tribute summon monsters cannot be destroyed, so it is what it is. But most importantly, I'd really like to take you guys to my sponsors. This game is over. This video is brought to you by the Cali Effects Binder Update, where you can buy the cheapest cards online from your favorite YouTuber. All you have to do is go to the description in this video, and the separate links, one will take you to my binder update, where you can get a visual of all the cheap cards the Cali Effect has in stock. Another link is my Google Docs account. Verify how many of said cards are in stock, and even find cards that are not in the binder update. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, or concerns, you can always message me on Facebook through the third link. Purchase your cheapest cards online today. Hey guys, I just wanted to throw out that in the Cali FX binder update, there might be some cards that might be a little bit above retail, and that's because when I actually did upload the video, they were actually cheaper than what it is retail. Most importantly, you guys can always just price match it. If you guys see a credible source with the Cali Effect, like TCG Player eBay that the Cali Effect approves of, and it's for that lower price, the Cali Effect will obviously not sell it to you for the price that it is if it's a lower price. They'll sell it to you for the lower price. Another great thing I wanted to mention is that there is a lot of cards, and when I mean a lot of cards, such as Karaz, Mega Tetsasalos, that are in that binder, or that are in the Google Docs, that aren't in the binder, that you guys could get a hold of before the next binder update. Just make sure you go ahead and check that out. Alright, so on to the game. We're playing against a very interesting deck. Basically what he did, he summoned Rescue Rabbit. As you guys can see, he made the King of Fair Imps, but the Alien Ammonite is going to make Cosmic Fortress Golgar. And then what he's going to do is he's going to use cards like Fiendish Chain, Call It Hunted, all that other riffraff, to bounce cards back to his hand, and then bounce cards on my side of the field to his hand. Unfortunately, none of that's going to happen today, because Vanity's Fiends plus Monarchs Monarchs has proven to be probably one of the strongest combos in this deck. Literally, this deck is like the 2016 version of Evil Swarms, except it gets more respect because, people actually like Monarchs as opposed to Evil Swarm, and there's no, bad players. Well, never mind, let me take that back. There's going to be a whole bunch of bad players playing this deck. Vanity's Fiend completely locks him out. Like, there's a couple of ways out of it, but the first thing he's more than likely going to have to get rid of is the March of the Monarchs, because you can't just normal summon monsters over 2400 attack. Yeah, so that's a thing. And, most effect negation does target. So I'm going to go ahead and summon Iados, because I should have just set the Vassal. And I wanted to give you guys the heads up that the Cali Effect doesn't play all of these cards in here. There's a lot of cards in here I don't play. It's called the Smoke Screen. To get you guys thinking, make you think that I play certain cards that I don't play, but I don't play it. And then he's gonna Bottomless Trap Hole. Yeah, that's great. This guy's just amazing right here. And here is the most funniest part of the game, just in case you guys did want to see some funny. Here it comes. There you go. That guy's Curse Game, too strong. Right here, I'm just going to be showing you another reason why this deck is just so good. Right now, I'm playing against, I really don't know what to say. I'm going to call it a rank 4 deck, because you normally go Damage Juggler into the Ice Cream Cone if you're playing Pepe. So we're going to go ahead and summon Idea. Idea is going to say Iados, or Edos. Then we're going to go into our Monarch Stormforth for our Dominions, and yet again, somebody decides to try to Bottomless Trap Hole us. This is starting to get old, guys. We're going to go ahead and send cards from our deck to the graveyard, and then send cards from his hand to the graveyard, and just start ruining his board. Literally, when you have a setup like this, it's really hard for your opponent to come back. They can't go into their extra deck, and now they also can't target or destroy my Monarch monster. In order for them to go to their extra deck, they have to get over this 2800 beater that's just really, really strong to get over. He's going to go ahead and special summon Jerigato and then gain 1000. It's really not going to help him. It's going to summon more monsters. It doesn't matter. He can't go in the extra deck. Thank you guys so much for watching. 200 likes and you guys will get the deck profile of this. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.